Welcome back. Topic for today is XRP. Please don't forget to like and subscribe down at the bottom. Let's talk about it. There's a ton of news going on, ton of investors talking about it. XRP, why buy it? Why be interested in it? What's going on? So over the past 48 hours, ton of news came in. Everyone was waiting on the SEC to file their appeal. They did file their appeal. XRP sold off about 10% after the news and then spiked right back up. Most believe that there is no case. New administration coming in, case is likely to be pretty much dropped as a waste of taxpayer dollars. Ripple believes they have a great case, right? If you don't know, Ripple is the parent company of XRP. So, ton of upside potential here. The stock seems to be consolidating from the 3 to, all the way on the upper bound, 3.38 range here, right? So, ton of news. New administration's coming in. Why buy XRP? Why not just buy Bitcoin, right? And I'm going to talk about that in this video. So first off, why buy XRP? XRP is being adopted as we speak. This isn't speculation. Japan is the first country that is switching over to the XRP system for financial marketing, right? So in layman's terms, you make a check deposit at your bank. It takes, a few days to clear. You might get the instant deposit limit. And that is because of the old system that banks use. It's archaic. It's dinosaur age. XRP will settle transactions in about 3 seconds. This is the new age 21st century technology. Why not use Bitcoin then, right? Why not use the other coins? Because Bitcoin wasn't designed to do that function. XRP was. So major countries are adopting right now. Japan's first. The hype recently is that the new administration is going to come in and all U.S. stable coins or coins are going to be tax-free potentially, right? There's a lot of talk about executive orders that are going to be passed. And let's talk about some of the highlights, especially from Digital Asset Investor. One of those you should definitely be following on X, right? So we talked about the SEC case, but that case is going to conclude. Ripple already won the first lawsuit. SEC appealed. We expect with the new chairman to come in, this case may even potentially be dropped. We shall see. There's no doubt that XRP technology is real. It's being adopted in the real world, right? Another big one is NFTs. If you're in that world, right? If you were trading or in this realm during the COVID pandemic, NFTs, they do have a case, right? Same thing with, let's say you're going to sign a mortgage or you're going to sign an official document, right? And you want to do it digitally, right? XRP, the blockchain technology can be used to certify, right, that signature and make it foolproof. CBDCs were built on the XRP ledger just getting started. It's ISO compliant. It's fast, scalable, inexpensive. There's a burn rate. So just like Bitcoin, XRP, there's a limited supply and there's a burn rate for each transaction. It's about 1/100th of a penny, right? So 100,000 transactions, you burn 0.1 XRP. So the supply is limited, okay? As the price skyrockets here, right, the biggest news is still yet to come. So you're seeing the big run up over the past 48 hours. Honestly, since the election, is because all of these statistically are bound to happen, right? Yes, they may not happen, but if you're going to be a long-term investor, if you believe in the technology, if you believe the world is changing right now, right? Just over the past 5 years with electric cars, AI, the next 10 years, the next 20 years are going to look nothing like today, okay? I think that's safe to say, and everybody who's listening agrees, right? So we have Gary Gensler's gone, right? He's very anti-crypto, came after all these crypto companies, all right? Sold Bitcoin that the U.S. government had obtained, and they're going to sell that, all right? The SEC lawsuit will be resolved. Let's say worst case scenario, Ripple loses the appeal. They pay out a fee. Just like most of these major companies will pay out a fee. The parent company will pay that fee, right? None of the XRP holders generally would see any downside of that. The biggest one, in my opinion, is the ETF. So, in my prediction, what's going to happen, new administration is going to come in and they're going to approve the stablecoin ETF. What that means is BlackRock, Vanguard, all of these companies will create an ETF that is diversified with the top cryptos. And it's safe to say that the cryptos in the United States will probably be that first stablecoin ETF. So you're looking at Bitcoin, you're looking at Solana, you're looking at XRP. When that ETF is created, it'll allow all investors to simply just buy the diversified portfolio, pay an expense ratio, just like the S&P. For example, the not popular one is VO from Vanguard. It replicates the S&P 500. You pay a very small expense ratio, and you're diversified, and you can be a passive investor. I think there are a lot of folks on the sideline right now. They don't understand crypto. They're not on YouTube watching channels like this. They just know that, hey, this asset is obviously appreciating very fast. The technology, they may not understand it, but they know the future is innovation. So they want some exposure. They'll buy into this ETF, whether it's through BlackRock, Vanguard, whoever it is. That will continue to drive the price higher. Crypto legislation, we expect the new administration to be very crypto friendly. That's what they campaigned on. And you're going to expect a flurry of executive orders coming right out of the gate. So next week, I'm going to provide another detailed update and talk about all those changes. So Crypto Council announcement, that's another possibility. And then a strategic reserve, right? So gold in years past, right? A lot of these central banks hold gold, okay? In the future, they may diversify and add some Bitcoin, Solana, HBAR, XRP, right? So you need to be on the lookout for that. Banks now announcing custody, right? These major banks are going to diversify. NDAs are going to expire, right? Allowing some of these employees to, speak what's actually going on, potentially even, hey, why were we going after Ripple in the first place? So there's a ton of positive news on the horizon, right? Let's go back to the chart real quick, right? So you're an investor. The stocks run up over, let's see, since the past year, right? It's up 470%. You're like, you're crazy, right? If you zoom back out to Bitcoin, for example, right? I'm not saying we're in the infancy of XRP, but this crypto has remained beaten down from these SEC allegations, right? And now what you're seeing is a stark run up. So another topic to pay close attention to is the market cap, which everyone says there's a market cap multiplier. For example, I've seen some information where $80 million of Bitcoin was XRP, was added recently over the past week, but it drove the market cap up by 212 times that. Right, so there could be. I'm doing some more research on that. I'm going to need to see some hard facts and some data to prove that, but there is the potential that with these ETF inflows, it may not take a lot of money to move XRP. What's my prediction for next week? Again, this is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only and entertainment purposes only. But if we get the new administration next week to pass the rules and laws that we're expecting, I would call $4 a floor. You would expect to see the stock. You may even see this shoot up to $4 over the weekend. There's going to be some profit taking along the way. Remember, there's a lot of folks here before the election who got in and they're up 400%. If you bought $10,000 worth, you're up 400% of your money. That's life-changing money for a lot of people. And this is an asset that's bought around the world. So maybe if you live in the U.S., hey, if I now have $40,000-$50,000 over the past 3 months, do I sell? I can go buy a car. I can go do this. There's going to be those folks that are going to take profits, and there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely take your profits if it's going to change your life. But for those other folks that are looking 5, 10, 15 years out, this is still, in my opinion, a great area to start DCAing in. I think there's going to be a strong run up into next week. I would say $4, potentially even shooting up to $5 or $6. Again, it's going to be volatile. You're going to see 10% up days, 5% down days, maybe 15% down days on any news. But you could also see, 20 to 30% up days if we get the legislation that we're expecting. Again, with more adoption around the financial industry, Japan taking over XRP, the sky's the limit for XRP, in my opinion. Let's say it goes up to the market cap of Bitcoin, which Bitcoin's around $2 trillion right now. XRP's just about 200 billion. So you're still looking at a 10x from these levels right here. So, you could see a $33 XRP price, and that would, you get the ETFs approved, you get the legislation approved, and then the one ace up the sleeve, and this would be insane, and I'm going to end the video on this note. But if you're a US investor and you have purchased cryptocurrencies that were founded in the US, like XRP, like Bitcoin, if those capital gains are tax-free, this asset will go through the roof. Bitcoin will go through the roof. It'll probably march to $200,000 a coin. It would truly then be a commodity safe haven for those looking to diversify and, just protect their assets from inflation and from money printing. So, my opinion, I have I have very limited Bitcoin. XRP caught my attention because it does have a use in the real world. I understand Bitcoin. I understand the technology. XRP can change the finance industry. It can change the NFT industry. It can contain digital signatures. And it's being adopted right before your eyes. You're not too late if you're interested in getting in. If you have some spare money, some spare change in the piggy bank, what I'm doing is I'm DCAing in here. I have a nice portfolio of XRP. I have a little bit of Solana and a little bit of Ethereum. Bitcoin, definitely, it pays to be first. Paying close attention to that. I think it's got a bright future ahead of it. But that's it for this video. Please like and subscribe below. I'm going to provide a brand new update next week once we see and get some clarity from the new administration. But expect a very big weekend. I would expect, most of the big whales, right? The banks can't necessarily buy it yet, but I would expect, maybe some congressional investors who already hold it, increasing their position. I've heard some popular finance analysts already front running this and adding to their position, because you could wake up Monday or Tuesday and this could be at $6. You could be kicking yourself, and then at that point you need to be careful. Again, I'll provide an update to hopefully give you some ease, but you got to be careful when it shoots up another 100-200%. Then you want to start adding, because then comes the volatility. Like I said, there's gonna be folks taking profit that bought back at the 50-cent range, and they made it, couple thousand, couple $100,000, maybe even a few million. It's going to change their life. They're going to take profits. You would expect to see some consolidation. So, just keep this on your radar. Definitely one that has use in the real world. We're not comparing this to gold. We're not comparing this to other things. But if I were to put XRP and Bitcoin side by side, XRP is my clear favorite here. Bitcoin has its own use, in my opinion, right? It's the front runner. It has a large market cap to support it. It's very hard to move it now. Even if Satoshi sold all of his Bitcoins, which is only 10% of the market right now, I mean, he could crash the market 10 or 15%, but that factor is almost taken out now. So my biggest fear of Bitcoin was that, what if this Satoshi guy, he's in the Cayman Islands and decides to dump all hundreds of billions of dollars of his Bitcoin? That case has kind of been put to rest now. The litmus test that I was thinking of is if the U.S. or the world goes into a global recession, like a 2008 type event. Bitcoin has been moving almost like a 3x leveraged NASDAQ fund. If you look at the NASDAQ and you look at Bitcoin has been performing at about 3 times the moves of the NASDAQ. So very closely pegged to it. My opinion, if we see a recession and the NASDAQ crashes 20, 30, 40%, you're going to see Bitcoin likely follow. Again, that's just my analysis. XRP, on the other hand, if it's being adopted, the technology is being used, financial transactions, supported by the government. And then the cherry on top, it would be wild if we see this, but if you get if you get no capital gains taxes on XRP, the sky's the limit. The sky is the limit. You would likely see a run up to 10, 20, like I said, maybe even $33 a coin. And then there's going to be a lot of profit taking at that point. But definitely keep this on your radar. The next 72 hours are going to be critically important when the new administration takes over. I'll provide an update likely next Monday or Tuesday on XRP, and we'll see what happens. Good luck to everyone. Hopefully you make a few bucks. Few key points to remember. If you're reading it in the news, there's a saying, if it's in the press, it's in the price. So again, everything that we talked about is usually priced in right now. We need to see the new legislation actually roll out, and that's when you'll see the next leg up. You may see some front running this weekend. All right, have a great weekend. XRP, keep it on the radar.